She trusted the wrong man. Now her life is at stake. But what happened next will leave you shocked. Hey friends, today we bring you another amazing movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's both educational and fascinating. But before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies from us. This movie story begins with a young lady named Ivy, who had a nightmare about a man killing her boss, Chief Badmus. She woke up immediately and rushed to check on her boss, just to be sure he was okay. She began praying for his safety. As she finished praying, she was startled when her boss suddenly ended the prayer with an amen. He was surprised to see her in his room. After she shared the terrible nightmare with him, she returned to her room, only to receive an unnecessary call from a family member as time went on. The next morning, a doctor came to see Chief Badmus. Not long after, Ivy answered a knock at the door and found a handsome young man named Roland, a dispatch rider, staring at her intensely. He delivered a package for Chief Badmus and handed it over to Ivy, then gave her his card, insisting she should call him before leaving. Ivy was secretly crushing on him. The doctor gave Chief Badmus a good health report. Ivy delivered the package to her boss, and they both left. On another day, Ivy ran into Roland again. He introduced himself, complimented her name, and offered to give her a ride. She accepted. When they got to her place, he insisted she call him, and she promised she would. Ivy later made fruit salad for her boss, just as the doctor had advised. The next day, a man named Mr. Smith, who worked closely with Chief Badmus as his manager, came in looking tense and demanded to see the chief. After Ivy left the room, Mr. Smith took a call where he discussed plans to extort a huge amount of money from the chief by getting him to sign some documents. But here's the big question. What if the person Ivy trusts the most is the one setting her up for the biggest betrayal of her life? Ivy informed her boss about Mr. Smith. While they were in the living room, Ivy brought water and accidentally spilled it on the documents Mr. Smith brought. He got angry, but Chief Badmus calmed him down and said they could handle it another day. Mr. Smith left. Ivy later went to apologize, but Mr. Smith coldly told her he hoped their boss wouldn't fire her for destroying a document worth millions. He walked away, unaware that Chief Badmus had been watching from the window the entire time. Feeling scared, Ivy apologized to her boss, begging him not to fire her, as she had nowhere else to go. Chief Badmus assured her that he had no such intention. The next morning, while Ivy was on her way to the market, she found Roland waiting at the gate. He insisted on going with her. Meanwhile, Chief Badmus needed Ivy's help, but had to manage on his own since she wasn't around. Ivy and Roland enjoyed their time together. When she returned home, she was surprised to see her boss waiting in the living room. He asked her to go prepare lunch. Later that day, Roland called Ivy, and they enjoyed their conversation. Moments later, Mr. Smith and the doctor arrived. Mr. Smith ignored Ivy's greeting. Inside the room, the doctor gave another good report on Chief Badmus's health. The chief apologized for the incident the other day and requested the financial statement of his company. Mr. Smith assured him that everything was in place, but the chief insisted on seeing it. They both left the room. Mr. Smith later complained to the doctor, saying the chief no longer trusted him. The doctor said it was reasonable for the chief to ask, but she also sensed something fishy and went her way. Later the next day, Roland and Ivy went out for a walk. Ivy left her phone inside, thinking her boss wouldn't need her help soon. However, Chief Badmus needed Ivy and tried calling her, but she wasn't picking up. Left with no choice, he had to help himself again. Do you think Ivy's trust in Roland will cost her everything, or is he the only one who can truly save her? Let us know what you think in the comments. Roland and Ivy returned a few hours later, and when Ivy went to her boss's room, she was shocked to see him stuck and in need of help. She quickly called the doctor. When the doctor arrived, she scolded Ivy, only to confirm that there was actually nothing wrong with Chief Badmus. Later that night, Ivy didn't leave her boss's side because she was still deeply hurt by what had happened. But he gently ordered her to go get some sleep, so she left. That same night, while in her room, Ivy received a strange call informing her that Roland had been in an accident. She rushed to the hospital immediately. The next morning, Roland was extremely grateful. Ivy had settled all his bills and stayed with him through it all. He told her that the motorcycle wasn't his, but Ivy reassured him not to worry. She would take care of it. They enjoyed the moment together. Later that day, Chief Badmus asked Ivy if everything was okay because she didn't look as sharp as she used to. She assured him that all was well. The next day, Ivy went to see Roland at his place. He told her about a job he had been trying to get. Since they were now dating, Ivy promised to speak with her boss to see if he could consider employing Roland. They spent quality time together. Later, Ivy spoke with Mr. Smith, who had just finished meeting with the chief, and mentioned that she needed help around the house because the work was becoming too much for her. Mr. Smith simply nodded and left. The following day, Roland was offered a job at Chief Badmus's house. The chief had a brief conversation with him and asked Ivy to show him around. Roland was filled with gratitude. He believed Ivy had proven her loyalty and commitment to him. He moved around the house looking cheerful, excited that his dreams were beginning to come true. But then, something unexpected happened. What would you do if the person you helped climb up the ladder suddenly turned against you? One day, after Roland had helped Chief Badmus to the living room, he went to his room. While searching for some documents, Ivy caught him. He stuttered and lied, then took her to her room and tried to persuade her to join him in a plan to steal part of the chief's money and run away to start a new life. Ivy was shocked. To her, this was stealing. She declined immediately. Roland wasn't pleased, but Ivy stood her ground. Days later, Ivy noticed Roland had started avoiding her. It was clear he was upset because she refused to support his plan. Meanwhile, Roland overheard Mr. Smith on a suspicious call, plotting to extort Chief Badmus. This excited Roland, as he felt someone else had the same intentions as him. When Mr. Smith tried to deny it, Roland made it clear he had heard everything. Chief Badmus later told Mr. Smith to leave, and that he would call him later, as he needed time to review the matter. As Mr. Smith left, he gave Ivy a strange look. Ivy simply handed her boss his glasses and stepped aside. The next day, while Chief Badmus and Ivy were having their usual moment together, Roland stormed into the chief's room, only to find it locked. Angry, he called Ivy and confronted her. She stood her ground and gave no response to his emotional blackmail. Guys, if you were in Ivy's shoes, would you stand by your values like she did, or take what you could from a man who might not be around much longer and change your life? What happens next will keep you thinking. Let's find out. Roland reported the situation to Mr. Smith, who told him to go ahead with the plan by any means necessary. Ivy, watching them through the window, became suspicious. She wondered what was really going on. One night, while Ivy was enjoying some quiet time alone, Roland came by, claiming he wanted closure, but Ivy walked away to her room, feeling uncomfortable. Roland watched her closely. Something about him was off. Later that night, Ivy unknowingly drank from a cup Roland had tampered with. She fell asleep suddenly, and what happens next will shake her world. The next morning, Roland brought good news to the doctor and went inside. As soon as they got inside, Roland woke his boss up, hoping for positive feedback. Chief Badmus asked about Ivy, but Roland lied to him, saying she was a prostitute who sold her body for money. The chief was disappointed because he had high expectations for her. The following morning, Roland personally attended to the chief. When Ivy walked in, her boss expressed how disappointed he was, saying he gave her everything she ever needed, yet she brought herself so low. This shock caused the chief's blood pressure to rise, and Roland quickly called the doctor. Inside the room, Ivy confronted Roland for going to such extremes. She never expected this from him. But this is what happens when you love the wrong person. Roland told her to leave, but she refused. In the chief's room, while the doctor, Mr. Smith, and Roland were watching, Ivy came to check on her boss. Chief Badmus insisted she leave. Roland walked her to her room and told her she was done and eliminated from the equation because the chief would soon die due to poison that had been inserted into his treatment. Roland congratulated Ivy for a successful job. While the doctor, Mr. Smith, and Roland waited for the chief to die, the doctor went in to confirm if he had passed. She mistakenly believed he was dead. But just as she left to pass the news, the police burst into the room and arrested them all. Chief Badmus was relieved they arrived on time. He asked the officers to release Ivy, who was tied up in her room. One of the officers went to untie her immediately. Chief Badmus then addressed each of them, reminding them how he had helped them in many ways, only for them to plot his death over money. He told them how hard he had worked for his wealth that could have also become part of their story, if only they had remained loyal. Before the police took them away, the doctor confessed that Chief Badmus had a child with his late wife before she died, and that child was Ivy. She explained that she discovered the truth when Ivy volunteered to donate blood during one of the chief's treatments. Tests confirmed that Ivy's blood matched his, but the doctor hid the truth from everyone because of her own greed. Ivy was shocked to discover this new truth. Chief Badmus was her father. As the police led the others away, Ivy and her father embraced, finally reunited as one. The moral lesson of this movie is, trust is a gift that should never be taken for granted. Greed can blind even the most trusted hearts, but truth and loyalty will always prevail. Never betray the hand that once lifted you. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and of course, click the subscribe button for more amazing and popular Nigerian movies from us. Bye for now. See you in our next video.